You know, some of the things that bother me right now is, like, I see the argument that she's making, but at the same time, like, when she points to the video shortly before the death, when she talks about the love that she had for this decedent, the troubling part about it is that's not how she acted. That's not what was going on behind the scenes. This is not the fairy tale relationship that she's trying to portray. And at times she's understanding. She's saying, hey, look, there was adultery, there was cheating, there was this relationship. But at the same time, it's hard to believe, I think, in these jurors' minds that both can be true at the same time. And when you have lawyers coming in and making opening statements, especially opening statements, you need to be the credible source in the courtroom. You need to bring authenticity. You need to bring credibility. You need to bring a likable character, both as the attorney and the defendant. And I'm just worried a little bit. It's a little bit shaky here when you say that this is such a loving relationship, and the actions behind the scenes, the selfies, the exchanges, the pictures being sent is just not consistent with that framing of the facts.
David, is that something that you can check for in jury selection? This idea that these two things can exist in the same plane. They can exist at the same time. The fact that you're having this torrid affair with this guy who's, you know, kind of from the other side of the tracks, but yet and still love your husband, still love your family, and kind of get caught in the middle there. Is that something that you can sort of, you know, get the right jurors who are willing or at least able to keep an open mind about that possibility?
Yeah, you can fight for the open-ended questions or some questions that are tailored with the idea of ferreting that out, honestly, Michael. But it really is the judge that is the final decider on what those voir dire questions are going to be. How close you can get really depends on the judge. With that being said, I wonder, can you bring expert testimony in on this particular fact? Because a lot of people are going to have that sort of idea. How could you say both? And maybe it's a mental health issue. Maybe it's something that could be explained by a psychiatrist or a psychologist or a social worker. That could always be in play. It has to get through the gatekeeper of the rules of evidence, has to be reliable. But with that being said, I think there has to be some sort of explanation to get the jury to understand that those two things can coexist.
And you make an excellent point, because really the affair is the thing. She kind of seems to say that the affair explains a lot of her behavior. The reason why she acted the way she did, erasing things, using encrypted apps, things along that line. So she really needs this jury to believe it. And you know what? At the end of the day, midlife crises are not just for men, for women as well. Maybe you get somebody to come in and talk about that.